Welcome to Under the Alder Tree. My name is Shelley Carter, your host. Here we provide natural solutions for health to help you on your journey to health, vitality, and whatever it is you want for your life. Our guest today is Angela Armstrong. She is a dynamic speaker and teacher. Angela, welcome to our show.
Hey, Shelley. Hey, sweetie.
I'm so glad to have, finally, months we get to have you here. Yay, I'm so excited.
I am too.
So our topic today, believe it or not, folks, is no holds barred. So I'm sure that conjures up a lot of things for a lot of people out there. And so a little secret, just so you know, Angela actually birthed triplets today. Yes, triplets. So Angela, come on back.
And I'm sure what your audience would love to know, and when you said that I birthed triplets, is I am, and Shelley can confirm this, but I am a strong supporter of colonics. And
Yeah.
so for the last year, when I'm not traveling, that's what she was talking about earlier. We've been trying to do this video and to interview me for months now, but my traveling schedule have been crazy. But when I'm in town, I am Shelly is like, that's my boo, literally. That's my boo. Connected to her from the other end. And so when I'm in town, I have to be in her office regardless. It was a time where I was coming, maybe about 2 to 3 times a week. I was just that
Yeah.
serious. And today I was in there and we had a good session. I was able to release a whole bunch of old emotions and thoughts. Yeah.
Let's take a step back here because so there's releasing and then there's releasing and so it wasn't really until the very end of the session that things really started flowing. And I find it interesting as I work with my clients, or especially with you, when we get to the root of what's going on emotionally, a lot of times as we're releasing emotionally, we begin to release the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely correct about that, and that's why I take my colonic time very seriously. I remember when I first started doing them, I called it psychiatry, just like going and laying on the psychiatrist table. But get a good person that you connect with to do your colonics. That's even greater. And so, and I'm so thankful that you and I are buddies because I get to talk about it, and I know when I'm emotionally bogged down by something. So I knew exactly what I was doing by opening up to you to say,
Yeah.
well, let me tell Shelley what's been going on, what had occurred, and I knew with discussing what had occurred that I was going to have a good releasing today. So yeah, you're right.
So you've been on I'm going to say an amazing lightning speed healing journey for yourself, and um, and so part of your journey is your Angela is she's a spiritual minister, also known as a prophet or a prophetess, or an intuitive or a psychic. She has transitioned her journey into learning more about energy and energy medicine, and due to a period in her life where she had gotten really sick. So, Angela, would you like to share a little bit about how that journey began and what happened, what's brought you to where you're at today?
Oh yes. For as long as I can remember, as a child, I was very spiritually aware. I was very spiritually awake. So I was able to see energies as a young child early on. And so my family automatically, I think when I was about 5 years old, or that young, I could tell my family would recall me going around the table, basically telling each of them about their lives as a
Mm.
little kid. So they always knew that I was special in some type of way, or that's what my family felt. And so
Did
they
you ever
treated.
feel weird about that yourself?
Huh?
Did you ever feel like it was weird to you?
It started getting weird to me, or playing more of a realness, I would say, when the Exorcist movie came out when I was a child. That's
Oh,
when
okay.
spirituality started resonating with me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was always spiritually aware. I just didn't call it psychic, intuitive, or anything like that. I didn't resonate with it. I only resonated with me being a person in the church that could actually tell everyone that was going on with them at any
Yeah.
given moment.
Yeah.
And so I did that for over 20 something years amongst thousands of people, thousands, especially women. And, but what I did not know, energetically wise, I was wearing myself out. I was tuned in, tapped on, as Abraham Hicks say, and turned
Mm-hmm.
on to everyone at any given moment. And
Yeah.
God forbid if you were close to me, if you were one of my buddies,
That girlfriend.
if you were one of my buddies, hear me. If I got anything in from you, I'm calling you with it. I like literally, I'm calling, girl, what's going on? Do you need to do this? You got to do that. I got this idea for you. Like
Yeah.
literally. So I was tuned in to everyone at all times, but energetically, I didn't know that there's a protocol to keeping yourself as a healer um, healthy.
Yes.
So, so for 20 something years, I was getting cords attached to me by multiple people that would look at me as their help or whatever. And so
Mm,
during the years, my health was declining.
yeah.
Along not only with the work, but I had my own thoughts and emotions that I didn't know how to process.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't know what loving myself was, but yet and
Mm,
still I was running around telling everybody else what to do.
yeah.
And so before you know it, I got sick. I literally, it started off going, it felt like a depression. Um, and then after the depression, I had a stroke in 2015. And then I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which basically is, I would just like to say it's a worry disease. That I'm just gonna keep it no holds barred to me. When I boil down all of the research that
Keep
I've
it
done,
real, Angela.
right, it's a freaking worry disease. And
Mm-hmm.
when you look at it, or worry, or not saying the things that you supposed to have said, keeping
Mm-hmm.
secrets, those type of things, and not speaking your truth. And I
Yeah.
was good at that. I was really good at that because I was always more concerned about being the good girl, being the woman who, in God's eyes, kept it right. But that's not necessarily how you're supposed to live. You do supposed to speak your truth in a lot of situations, but I didn't, and so that led me to almost dying. It almost took my life 3 times.
Yeah. Wow.
That was that was the victim, Angela, because what people don't know, also with the thyroid, and I believe when you worry so much, you're in a different type consciousness, what they call victim consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in a state of worrying, you're always worried about money. You're worried about relationships, where you are in relations to other people and how they feel about you, what they think about you, all of that crap. That affects this gland here. And I was really I was good for that. Let me tell you the reason why. When you're in the crowds amongst thousands of people, I was always concerned about what I was looking like, what my hair looked like, what clothes I was wearing. And it was just many things that played a part of my health, but it's actually a freaking worry disease that almost took me out. So I needed to make the decision, how would I live the rest of my life? I had to make the choice of, okay, I'm always tuned in. I could literally walk up to someone, and I don't know how to explain my gifts, but I could walk up to someone, know their patterns just from A to Z or whatever. And so how do I be healthy, um, grow my spiritual gifts, continue to
Mm-hmm.
hone them in, and be healthy
Mm-hmm.
at the same time? So I
Yeah.
had to make that decision of what I was going to do. And part of that was actually keeping my body clean with colon therapy.
Yeah. Yeah. That and herbs and
Oh my God.
prayer and fasting
Did you
and
tell your audience she's my buddy too? We became, I love Shelly. We became buddies. Like I said, that when you're doing this type of work, this person should actually be your psychiatrist a little bit. But we became friends. We established a great resonance where we could talk about things. So yeah.
I have Angela's bio, which is this long or this long or that long. And so we're not going to get through everything tonight. And so what else would you like people to know or know about you? Let's talk about your passion and what you're up to right now.
My passion right now is energy. I have been so excited about energy because I healed myself. Literally, I came back from the brink of death with
Hmm.
diving in, going to take multiple classes on energy, learning about our chakra systems, the 40 layers of our aura. I just really dived into it so much, but it became a passion of mine. So right now, outside of all the regular things that I do, what's happening is I want to show other people what's happening in their auric field,
Okay.
in their invisible body. So next year in 2020, yeah, I'm purchasing a machine to help people do that. And so that's what I'm up to now. That's my
Okay.
passion. One of my
Okay.
passions.
I would
Yeah.
say one out of 100,000, maybe.
Right, exactly. You get to talk to me, so you know exactly what I'm doing. So it is a lot. But that's because I'm creating my own world and my own reality. And so I spent so many years not doing that as a mother, as a wife. And so now that I
Mhm.
have more understanding that I create my reality and I can be a very creative person,
Yeah.
oh my God, I just decided that I wanted to live life to its fullest. I do really want to have, for the rest of my time here on earth, an enlightening life. And so I decided to create it. So, yes, I got a lot on my plate to do. I'm excited about it though.
Yeah, and you should be because I know what some of those things are. I think it's interesting. They'll say like usually around middle age we start looking at a second career and what's next in our life. And I think it's something you said earlier today. It's usually the age of 49 that we actually become adults. Well, there's lots around that. And but usually in 40, 50s is where we really start looking at, am I happy where I'm at? And am I doing the things I'm really called to do? And what is next for me? And some people know and some people don't know. And looking back, like when I talk to my clients, it's like where we start is what have you wanted to do since you were a little kid that you never got a chance to do? And begin to look and have those conversations from that point of view. And then start to look at, well, if you were to do that now, and is that same passion there, what would you be doing? And so, what do you want to say? Anything you want to say? What do you want to add?
That no, that's good because it was a big decision that I've was wrestling with for 2 years now.
Mhm.
And I decided to go the complete health and wellness route because, as you know, healing up myself, I end up taking a whole bunch of energy courses, getting certified in that. I'm also a student of University of Massachusetts Medical School MBSR program, which is the whole science behind mindfulness meditation, which is basically
Okay.
stopping thoughts. And so, oh, sorry about that little tafu, but so I had it to make the decision that I wanted to come out of ministry, that I want to run around the country and to help people, ministering to people, helping them in that way with my voice, or do I want to just give my complete all to education about energy? And I made the decision that, yeah, I left. I left that. That's all behind now. I don't take that on anymore because being
Mhm.
responsible for, or feeling like you're responsible for the health of other people was just too much on me. So I decided, no, I don't want to do that. So now in my life, yes, I had made the turn that now I just want to do education on the chakras, the energetic body, letting people know about that information. So yeah, I did change my entire life, Shelley, my entire
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And it was a mental, I went through some mental issues with it too, because when you only know yourself as one individual, I had to say, wow, you're leaving your identity completely behind. I was
Yeah.
known for over 20 something years as the little girl in the entertainment industry off of Broadway in New York by everybody. And even as a minister, everyone knew me in that regard as well. And so did I want to leave that identity behind? And I said, yeah, I did.
Now, you are also, and I'm going to come from the creative perspective. You're also, you have several businesses. So, one is your CEO of Armstrong PSI, and Lightning Life Organization. What else have you been up to, or what else have you created?
What I
That was
am.
a deep breath, girl.
What'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said that was a deep breath.
It was a deep breath because I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? What was the question again, Shelley?
You have started multiple companies, you and
Yeah,
Bradford.
yeah.
And so just a couple of them are Armstrong PSI, and then there's a Lightning Life organization. And then I know there's a long list of other things.
Are you asking me how am I going to transfer that life into this life?
No, because some of those things you're still doing,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Right.
So you're CEO of Armstrong PSI. What is that? Tell me about it.
Okay, that sounds like a better question. Okay, Armstrong Professional Services. We have been doing for the last 21 years the IT management for the hottest Broadway shows that you've ever heard of, starting with Oprah Color Purple, Mamma Mia. Our clients now that we work with is Hamilton, Harry Potter, just to name a few. I'm getting excited about Michael Jackson coming to the screen, Tina Turner coming to the screen. So a lot of
Mhm.
things on Broadway. And so we work with Hugh Jackman, Lee Schreiber, just a lot of people. So that's exciting when you're able to bring your knowledge. My husband is actually the real genius behind that type of work. I'm kind of more on the business end of it and dealing
Yeah.
with the contracts and the money part. You know what I do on that end. But Brad is the genius part. That Brad is really the genius part to come in and really handle everything from your computers, phone, networking, I don't care what it is. And we just got off of a big project, Hamilton the Exhibit. It was down
Mhm.
at Northerly Island in Chicago. Unfortunately, they closed early, but it was the first thing to be done on Broadway as far as taking something from the Broadway and putting it into a museum format that had never been
Mhm.
done ever.
Yeah.
And so for them to include us on the job was absolutely exciting. For 20 something years, everyone has known our work and how we operate. So when they were doing it, we got the call to come put this up in Chicago. So we were excited about it. We had never done anything that big.
Yeah.
Broadway had never done anything that big. So to
Yeah.
be included in that, that was exciting. Then as far as a Lightning Life in 2020, what you will be seeing more from me is, and be able to buy my products, is what allowed me to heal myself is recovering from limiting beliefs,
Yes.
thoughts, emotions. And I had to look at where my emotions and my thoughts were, and they were all over the place, and they was not good, and it had a physical effect on me. So for a period of the time, when I got into learning about different frequencies, Sophiego musics, and the alpha brain waves and the theta brain waves. I can go into that, but I really did went into research about that and for the last 2 years. And Brad and I go to bed every night with headphones in our ear. playing something that changes our subconscious mind altogether. So let
Mhm.
me explain. So when we first got into it, um, Brad wanted to tackle the fear of flying. Um, you wouldn't think that he had a fear of flying with all the travel we do, but he really
Right.
did. So he started creating subliminal messages and listening to some that artists that we researched on YouTube. Um, and so every night you put those in your ear, and 20 minutes before you go to bed, your brain is in a state where it wants to receive whatever you're putting into it. So every
Mhm.
single night to this day, we have something that we're working on to try to change limiting beliefs. Whether you have a fear of flying, fear of public speaking, those type of things. I look at where I am emotionally wise, what I need to work on in within myself, and then I tackled it that way. Well, anyway, we began to see our lives change. I got on the stage. You remember this, Shelley? Back in September, I was able to perform in front of over 100 people.
Right.
Able to sing and dance. Well, prior to that,
That
people
wasn't
did
gonna happen.
was not happening, dude. It wasn't happening. I like talking, but for me to get on stage and
Yeah.
actually sing and dance and move my body in front of people and to be bold, I just wouldn't have never done it in the setting in which I was asked to do it in. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, to get me prepared for that, I reached out to another energy healer buddy of mine, and we did a session to get rid of that fear. But most importantly, I had subconscious, subliminal messages that was playing every single night with the fear of public speaking and the fear of entertaining. And so
Okay.
it began to work on Brad and I. We were able to see our lives change. We were able to see energy shift and move in our life. So we said,
Mm.
well, wow, this is so wonderful. What do we do with this? And of course,
Yeah.
me having a business mind, I went, oh, this is going to be easy. We've been in ministry for something years. Let's create this because the topic of energy is not as easy as I would like it to be. I should be honest. It's not as easy because people are so stuck in their beliefs they can't listen. They don't
Mhm.
hear what you're saying when it comes to energy. And so I said, well, you know what? How I can help mankind is um, I will create the subconscious mind subliminal messages for people myself. I bought
Mhm.
software. We bought all the equipment to start preparing all our products. So in 2020, you'll be able to go to enlighteninglife.com and purchase anything that you're struggling with. And we will make the recording for you.
Oh, so you
They
will
can
be doing custom
Yeah, I
recordings
will be
then?
doing custom recordings. And not
Awesome.
only that, yeah, Shelly, I'll be doing custom recordings on even health issues. So if you're
Yeah.
battling with your thyroid, I will take
Yeah.
the necessary mantras that's needed for the thyroid that I
Right.
use to even heal myself up, where I was able to not Shelly, I mean, go to the doctor and literally look at the difference in my blood levels based
Yeah.
on what I'm saying to myself. So I said, well, this is what I'll do for other people's. And so many people are battling with autoimmune disease
Right.
and all of that. So Brad and I said, this is how we will give back. And I'm so excited about that because there's so many
Awesome.
people walking around with limiting beliefs. So that is what's coming to you in 2020 as well, where you go to lightninglife.com and purchase Brad and I subconscious mind recordings to help you
Right.
get over things. Yeah.
So, and one of the things I know about you is because you are um, a healer and because you are um, psychic and you tap into other people's energies, you can actually custom create it. There's what you've done that works for you, but it's also tapping into what actually they need based on their frequency level at the time that you're talking to them, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then God forbid if I meet you personally and
Watch out, folks.
God forbid if I meet you personally and tap into something that maybe you haven't even touched on yourself or wanted
Yeah.
to bring it up to surface. You mentioned that the title of this was No Holds Barred. Well,
Yeah.
that's where I kind of is known for. I meet a person and can just really tap into the most, um, I like to say, most hurtful things that they don't want to bring up or talk to. But I've been able to just pull a person aside and say, "Do you want to deal with this now?" Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Those most
excited.
intimate details. So, when in 2020 are you expecting to launch your program?
February.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
that's soon. You know, that's
February.
my birth month.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have
Okay.
to be in town when it's my birthday, right?
I am. What day?
21st.
Oh my God, you're right there with my son. Okay, I'll remember that.
When's your birthday?
Well, he's the 12th.
Oh, okay.
So we got
Okay.
to do something. Bill. Yeah, let's do something. That'll be
Uh,
fun.
uh, yeah, it would be fun. We've been talking about it anyway, so
Yeah, it's
so
going to be
I
fun.
know you have other things going on, and is there any last words you'd like to leave people with? And what do you have going on in terms of where people can find you or promotions and things like that?
This won't be the only time that you see me because there's going to be a section underneath the alder tree called Angela at the alder tree.
Woohoo!
And we want to tackle more
Coming
subjects
soon.
coming soon in 2020. Angela underneath the alder tree. You want to
Yeah,
hear it? Because I have a lot of stories that I don't mind telling, or things that we're talking about. Because tonight we were actually supposed to talk about something totally different,
totally different.
totally different. But Jelly wanted to go with the flow. But my healing journey is very exciting to me, and so to be a part of um, underneath the alden tree is very exciting because that I'm able to help people give recipes on what worked for my husband and I. Because what I did not discuss is not only was I sick, he was sick too. He was over 90 something pounds, and you've seen Brad, he looking good, all slim and thin and
Yeah,
everything. And I wouldn't mind sharing that with other people. But not only will you have um, the subliminal recordings coming from us, but I am launching in February Lightning Life TV, which is going to be my own podcast. I'm actually excited about everything that's coming up. I'm just
yeah,
living it to the fullest, and I'll be able to talk about my stuff there. But I'm excited about being with other healers like Shelly and
yeah.
literally just getting that, building that vibe, that frequency for what's going on in 2020. I'm really excited about it. But not only that, yes, you can catch me at a lightninglife.com. That's
Okay.
a lightninglife.com. So you can find me there. That's where all of my things going to be. But you'll see me probably more often under Angela underneath the alder tree, because whenever Shelly needs to talk about something, guess who's going to be here?
Woohoo!
Woohoo. And as you can see, we probably can talk more than the 30 minutes on any given subject because it goes by fast, don't you think?
Yeah, it goes way too fast. Just like the
You
time we have together. There's never enough time.
There's never enough time. But I do, want you to discuss a question for you, for your audience.
What's
Um,
that?
so people can even know me greater. My organization is called, I just created this year, A Lightning Life. Since you've known me,
Yeah.
please explain what you see in me that says a lightning life. Because I remember you making a comment that I thought was so funny. You says, this when we first met, maybe about a month or two. He says, "I've never met anyone who's went after healing like you have."
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You
I
thought I was
remember
crazy,
it's
but
like what was it I said to you the other day? Mach 10 with your hair on fire. We were texting back and forth. So I'm like, yeah, Mach 10 with your hair on fire. She's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, really? Put a rocket on her backpack and boom, there she goes. So, and there'll be more from Angela coming soon. So I am so glad to have you on the program today, Ange.
I am too. And so I look forward because we're going to be doing this more often. So tonight I just see as a little introduction to me on your show, because I don't even think that we've gotten into anything. I don't feel like we talked about nothing tonight. So I'm
Yes,
excited about it.
no, yeah. So I'm really
And
glad
yeah,
to
because
have you here.
we got Brad that's going to come on what I really want to bring to the Alder Center, and when we discuss this more so, is how couples heal. as they're going through energy changes.
Are you
And Brad,
extracting the words out of my brain? Because I was just going to bring that up, but go ahead.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm picking up on your thought forms.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to bringing Brad and I are looking forward to bringing that because you don't find many couples who decide to take on healing themselves from down to a cellular level,
Right.
um,
Well,
together
and one
because
of the things that I have found when couples are going through maybe their spiritual journey or their healing journey, and one couple is going in one way, and or one person's going in one direction, the other person is kind of like they're not maybe on the same page, or maybe they're just not ready for it. And so when you're working on yourself and trying to figure things out, sometimes you feel like, well, maybe this person is no longer the right person for me. And maybe I've outgrown the relationship. And so I really love how you and Brad have intertwined and managed things. And because you both weren't on the same page initially. And it was really cool to see how where you're at today versus what I've heard from where you've started your journey and where you both are now as a couple. And so will we start to bring that conversation to the table, because I think good for people to know that you don't have to leave a relationship because you're on a particular journey, that somehow it can be molded and worked together so you both can still be cohesive and you don't lose the 5, 10, 15, 20 years of investment that you've put into that relationship. So I'm really excited for that to come forward.
and that's going to be actually exciting to talk about. To be honest, me and Brad
Mhm.
do not take it lightly that every time that we go to bed at night, we're very grateful that we're even still together because it was a point that was not almost not an option. We were
Yeah.
healing so rapidly. There was a time we looked at each other and went, "Do we still want to be together? Do I still want to? You still want to be with me? And it hasn't anything, and it has nothing to do with do you love that person or not.
Right. Right.
So it's just how energy moves and the shift that you come across. But we're very excited to bring that message to the table because as we were going through classes, Shell, and as you know, and you meet different people, we always hear, "Oh man, my person broke up. We didn't," or me and my husband, we're not on the same page. I'm healing, he's not. So I'm excited to start discussing that as well. But it does take an agreement and for you guys to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being on the show. It's great having you as a guest tonight. I do look forward to many others. And here under the alder tree, we're all about creating bridges and all about helping you get from point A to point C or point A to point M in your health and in your journey. We have lots of tools, therapists, practitioners, healers here to help you on that path. And and so we look forward to seeing you here. Everyone here is highly gifted, and we all work together to support you in that journey, no matter what it is that you're looking to accomplish. Something new that's coming to the center, and we will be releasing it next week, is Alder Healing Teas. So we have a custom blend, all organic, that we'll be offering in our center. So reach out to us, stop on by. We look forward to seeing you under the alder tree real soon.